No, we're on Age of Ultron. We're like midway through that.
Gotcha.
So far, I just was like immediately like the first few syllables that the villain said. I was like, that's James Spader, which just kind of makes it like not believable, but also kind of funny because that guy's such a fucking weirdo, but he's so hilarious.
Like the thing from the trailer for that was him weirdly like spoken word singing I've got no strings on me.
Yeah, that was weird. Pinocchio. I mean, I know people don't like the later seasons of The Office, but I do think Robert California is a really funny character.
Yeah. Just how awkward and interesting.
Yeah. And that's just how he is in everything he does, by the way. That's where we're at.
Going back to Stargate. Stargate. He was in Stargate.
Mm-hmm. He was also in Boston Legal.
Really? Oh, he was in the movie Stargate, and then they replaced him with what's his face in the series.
James Spader was in Boston Legal.
Didn't remember that.
Oh, Julie Bowen was in that too.
Welcome to Namely 90s. Wow. The podcast that takes you back to the time before smartphones, Google, and Y2K. Join your hosts as they relive the pop culture that shaped a generation and the parts that many people wish they could forget. Listen in to the conversation about how the decade defined those who spent their childhood there and how it shaped them as adults. So, turn down the grunge and dial up the internet. Let's get started. It's time for Namely 90s.
That's right. You're listening to Namely 90s. My name's Andrew, and there's Brandon.
That's me.
Oh, I'm wearing my glasses. You can find us online at namely90s.com or on Instagram and Bluesky at namely90s. You can also find the show on YouTube every Monday at youtube.com/@namely90s. And if you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/namely90s, also with a 90s, to get signed up for one of our support levels. Yeah, I realized I could see my computer screen far too well during that intro, but I don't wear the glasses because of the
glare.
Well, it's got anti-glare, but it also has the blue light filter, so it just reflects only blue light back at the camera, and it looks stupid.
That's funny. It's weird to have a blue light glare.
Yeah, but anyway, here we are.
Call us on the chatter line to tell us what's on your mind. Go ahead, caller. You're on Chatterbox.
Yeah, send us a quick fax over. No, fax machine. Who has a fax machine anymore?
They used to do that for G4 TV's Attack of the Show back in the day. They had a fax spare.
Imagine the time where you actually had a fax in your home. We never had a home fax.
I feel like we had a printer that had a fax.
Yeah, my printer has the faxing component, but it literally never was hooked up to a phone line or used for a fax. But imagine having like a dedicated fax machine at home. People had those.
That's kind of strange. Like,
hey, fax me later.
Yeah, send me a fax, man.
That's so gnarly.
Man,
how so much of a square do you have to beat up a fax at your house?
And like back then, like it's a completely separate machine, so it's like it wasn't like a copy scanner fax machine. No. It was just like you were feeding paper into it and sending text.
Yeah,
visual.
Yeah,
text.
fax that to my pager.
Yeah. What?
All right. Well, it's now mid-December.
Mm-hmm.
Well, early to mid.
This comes out on the 9th. It's going by too fast. I've purchased 3 Christmas gifts.
Nice.
I think, at this point. Still have yet to pick up the one that you guys sent me.
I saw this thing. It was like, I'm doing the December challenge, and the challenge is I try to get through every day of December.
I think I saw that for November.
That's fair.
Yeah. We're still in the darkest timeline with let's not bring it down. Anyway, we have an announcement, a sad announcement. no Christmas specials this year.
No, it's just not going to happen.
Didn't get around. With the move and the working and
frankly, my schedule for the first time I think ever is more open than yours. It seems like, at least at nighttime.
Oh yeah, at nighttime. But no one wants to record at 9:00 PST because they're all asleep.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're in England or wherever else, or
the East Coast, or even Mountain Time.
But also just between the two of us, like my schedule's weird. You've been working more.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of work, frankly, to get it all done.
Yeah, if I could have had people record at night, I might have been able to do it.
But also the fact that it is now early December and we haven't done it yet.
No, we haven't reached out to anyone. Like even my like backup plan, I was gonna have like reach out and ask people to just like record like a 5-minute thing and then we'll just replay your old episode or something.
Time is not on our side in this situation.
So sorry about that, everyone. But you know what? We do have 48 episodes of Christmas specials that you could go back and listen to if you'd like.
Rip to the max. 12 days of Christmas specials.
Rip to the max for now. Question mark? Maybe I'll pull through. Who knows?
The 12 days of Christmas specials will return. Like in the end of all those. Yeah, I'm watching all the Marvel movies now because I've never watched them. Just let that sink in. And it always says that at the end, like, so-and-so will return.
Well, I feel like they took that from the James Bond movies. Like,
they did.
James Bond will return in The Spy Who Shagged Me.
And the funny thing is there was never a guarantee he actually would return.
Mm-hmm.
And then didn't they do it at the end of the one where he died?
Yes. Spoilers for 2021 Spectre.
What?
Yeah. No, it wasn't Spectre. What was the last one called?
No Time to Die.
No Time to Die. And then he died.
Someone apparently there's like an actual person in real life who owns land in South Africa who's like creating dams to cause a drought and then control the water rights. That's literally the plot of Quantum of Solace in real life.
Yeah, that's and unfortunately we're in between James Bonds right now, so we can't just send him to go take care of this.
I was joking that Elon Musk is like a Bond villain. Like he's literally building like spaceships so he can build a moon base, and he just cut his hair to look weird. That's when you know. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm having headphone issues.
Yeah, you're delayed on my end, and it might be. Is it mine? Yours? Can you hear me?
Nope, it just came back.
No,
it just came back.
Okay. You had a weird audio artifact, but
sound better?
Yep.
That's the kind of quality podcasting you can count on from Namely 90s.
Because we don't edit.
I'm standing in my garage. My headphones decided they were no longer headphones, and then my computer monitor somehow became the sound device. I don't know what happened.
That actually happened. That happened to me at some point. Like we were recording
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Like even just a week ago, like my second monitor turned off while we were in the middle of recording, and then eventually turned back on for some reason.
Is it like you hear people who take acid and then they can suddenly see sound? Is that how your monitor works? And it becomes the audio device?
Yeah. Always a fun time here at Namely 90s with all of our different little quirky little machines. What?
Yeah. What else?
I haven't had much going on.
I started watching a new series.
What did you start watching?
I started watching a new series to me on Netflix with Ron Livingston. He plays like this drug and alcohol counselor in Seattle. It's called Loudermilk. It's his last name. It's pretty good. They do a good job of doing on location stuff in Seattle. Although I was watching like the archival footage for the establishing shots and it showed the Key Arena, but I looked it up and it was 2017. So I think it was being built at that time, like built into Climate Pledge Arena. But I was like, that's pretty fun. I mean, they get it pretty good for Seattle, except in one scene, there's like all the traffic lights are blinking green at nighttime, and I'm like, that literally is not a thing.
So it's Canada.
Yes, but otherwise it's Seattle.
Yeah, I think it was like 2008 or 9 when I was down here for school, and because I watched the show Psych a lot, and I was like, oh, this is what Santa Barbara is, because they always had the like exterior shots of Santa Barbara, and then or like the location shots of Santa Barbara.
Apparently, they've mostly filmed it in Portland. No, Vancouver.
Yeah. Psych. Are you talking about Psych or
no, the Loudermilk show? But gotcha. I do think there are Seattle, shots.
Well, it's like, yeah. I mean, I think the pilot of Psych, they did actually shoot some in Santa Barbara, but then the rest of the series they shot up in Canada, and I was just like, I would, for some reason in my head, seamless transition between like exterior shots of the beach in Santa Barbara, and then suddenly they're on a rocky Pacific Northwest Canadian beach.
And then it's funny with shows, they're driving somewhere and they're like, how far is it to Mount Baker? First of all, if you lived in Seattle, you'd know how far it was to Mount Baker. And second of all, you wouldn't drive 90 to 110 minutes to Mount Baker from downtown Seattle. You could drive to a different place. Mm-hmm. If you didn't know where Mount Baker was or how to get to it, like you would only go there because you needed to or wanted to. It was just very, the sort of thing that TV does. But the series itself is pretty good. Not the fact that it's in Seattle per se.
That's good. Speaking of television, today's episode, if you haven't seen the title yet or looked at, our cover image on YouTube, I don't know. It's kind of a boot or reboot. I'm not sure. We're going to do a real boot or reboot next week. So, yeah, I don't know. But what we're going to do is we're going to watch some Simpsons stuff.
Okay.
And the Simpsons came out. Technically, the first episode was in 1989, and they were shorts in the Tracy Ullman show in 1987 onwards. But the rest of season 1, and I would assume the first 10 seasons, were in the 90s. And
right, the heyday.
And compared to what I'm going to show you afterwards, what they're doing with the Simpsons this Sunday.
Sunday.
But let's start all the way back with a trailer for Simpsons roasting on.
Let's jump into the Wayback Machine and check it out.
Oh yes. Here we.
That is tiny. I will fix that on my end. That's excellent. What he said. All right. It's bigger now.
This holiday season, there will be a lot of Christmas shows.
The voice guy.
But one will change the face of television forever. Ho, ho, ho. They're coming to save the 90s.
When do we get paid?
To save the 90s.
Their first full-length television debut.
I hope you feel better, Santa.
Oh, I will when Mrs. Claus's sisters get out of town.
The Simpsons Christmas Special, Sunday, December 17th on Fox.
Wow.
Yep.
It always amazes me the things that get off the ground with their first season animation.
Mm-hmm. So half of that was like the Tracy Ullman show animation.
No, I know, but like early Family Guy looks pretty trash.
Oh yeah.
Early Garfield is like it's scary. It's just funny how like the early stuff still somehow catches on. I guess that's a testament to the content.
I mean, it was the era, or it was just before the era of the Nicktoons. So it was like, and that, I mean, those Nicktoons, those early Nicktoons also had some rough animation, man.
But I think it's funny. It's like they were on the Tracy Ullman show. And people are like, ooh.
Well,
I still don't even know who that is. Imagine being younger than us.
True. Yeah. Well, seeing as The Simpsons are like the show itself is 89. I was born in 89. We are the same age.
Right.
And somehow not dead yet.
But they make it. I always feel like whenever people say it was on the Tracy Ullman show, I'm like, oh, that must have been like a really good, popular show back then. I don't know that it was.
No, I think it was probably one. I would assume it's one of Fox's more popular variety shows, but Fox wasn't even like
Fox was just new. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Fox was just a short on NBC that
the Simpsons Roasting on Open Fire was the originally called the Simpsons Christmas Special, is the series premiere of the Simpsons. It's a Christmas special, and the show had a very long delayed release.
I don't know. We've all been there.
I mean, Sting is part of that. Yeah. So originally, they were going to air a different episode at the start of the fall season, but due to animation delays, they kept pushing it back.
Yeah,
and eventually, they went with the Christmas special as the first episode. It introduced the Simpson family into a half-hour television with Bart disobediently getting a tattoo without the permission of his parents. And then Marge spends all the family's holiday budget having the tattoo removed. Homer learns that his boss is not giving the employees Christmas bonuses. Kind of sounds like Christmas Vacation. And then takes a job as a shopping mall Santa.
Isn't Bart like 10?
Yeah, he lies to the tattoo artist.
Also, speaking of, I don't know why this reminded me, but I just saw a thing before I came on that was like, the most unrealistic part of Christmas Vacation is that the Griswolds had their family come over 10 days before Christmas.
That's true. I mean, let's see. Most of them are retired, but still 10 days before Christmas, really?
Apparently, according to this random internet meme, which now just means a screen cap of something someone posted on Twitter. And yes, I'm saying Twitter, not X, like they're old and from Twitter. And I'm becoming aware of them this year.
That's funny. Yeah, I guess that's true because days passed during the film until Christmas Eve. Yeah, I get in early, but
maybe you're also not insufferable, I imagine, as a guest. Well, I should hope not. I'm doing an accent. Don't tell Gaz and Dane.
Accent, yeah. Again, I'm bummed we're not doing the Christmas specials because there's at least, I want to say 3 or 4 podcasts that would have hit the 5-time club.
Listen, I'm bummed, but I'm relieved as well.
Same. All right. So it was the only episode to air during the 80s. And then it was viewed by approximately 13.4 million people during its original airing.
Which in today's people is like 20 million. You know how they always do that with money.
True. And it was nominated for 2 Emmys in 1990. And weird phrasing here, but since its release on home video, the episode has received positive reviews from critics.
Yeah, home video streaming?
Yeah.
Home streaming?
Home video. All right. And here's something for their Christmas special this year, technically.
We interrupt with an important announcement.
The Simpsons Funday Football is coming to Springfield on ESPN2. On December 10th, Bart and the Bengals against Homer and the Cowboys.
What am I watching?
Football fans and Simpsons nerds finally come together to watch the game
live
from Springfield. Watch the Simpsons Funday Football between
hopefully we don't get flagged for the NFL
December 10th on ESPN2.
Team.
ESPN 8, the Ocho. What is it though? So is it actually a game?
Yeah. It is.
Is it like simulcast animation based on or is it fictional?
Well, let me read you what the press release says, boy. Andrew. The Simpsons Funday Football, ESPN. Oh, sorry. Let me start over. On Simpsons Funday Football, ESPN. Forgot to check my audio again. It stopped recording.
False start.
Yep. On the offense. Yeah, well, good thing Zoom records for us. And on the Simpsons Funday Football, ESPN analysts, NFL analysts, and Simpsons enthusiasts Mina Kimes, and Dan Orlovsky will make their animated telecast debut as they provide live game analysis, while Drew Carter is set to provide play-by-play. The trio will call the game from ESPN's BristolCon studios while simultaneously appearing as Simpsons-inspired versions of themselves within the telecast. Internationally, the Simpsons Funday Football will be available on in more than 145 markets. That didn't really tell much about it, but yes. But
what are the Simpsons doing in it?
They will transport viewers into the iconic Simpsons universe, providing a fully immersive, real-time animated viewing experience for fans of all ages.
That makes sense. They're basically using like the positional data to create like a horrible 3D rendering of the game.
Using Sony's Beyond Sports technology.
But it's like scary because it doesn't look right.
No, nothing looks right.
It doesn't look like
they're 3D characters. Or...
Yeah, anytime you try to make things 3D from two-dimensional, like it's creepy. In this day and age, you think you could look better than that, but probably for like how fast it is to render and all that, like they can't have that many polygons and et cetera, et cetera.
Sorry, I was doing a sync snap for myself there. Bart and Homer will be joined by dozens of other friends and characters throughout the game with the authentic Simpsons voices of Hank Azaria, Nancy Cartwright, Dan Castellan, Julie Kavner, and Yardley Smith, voicing over several pre-recorded bits and skits for the telecast. In addition to plenty of football talk, fans should expect to hear a healthy amount of doze. Yeah, it's
okay. Okay.
Yes. So not exactly a boot or reboot here. It's more of a what the F are they doing?
This is like the most like sellout thing you can do, but it's just of such low quality, and they're promoting it as like something that we should be grateful to them for and would want to watch. But this sounds horribly unwatchable and probably going to do just terribly.
Yeah, it's more like Disney being like, how can we do more brand synergy?
But like, here's the thing. The people who want to watch this game want to watch the game, and the people who want to watch The Simpsons would rather just watch The Simpsons than some weird bastardization of The Simpsons. So therefore, who is this for?
Good question. And why is it on ESPN 2?
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's probably on ESPN 2.
It's like a sandwich by curling on the other side. Well, I'm assuming the regular game will just be on regular TV.
The regular game will be on regular TV. FXX will be doing a 10-hour animation blitz of Simpsons episodes. So if you do want to just watch The Simpsons instead, you can watch The Simpsons instead.
Then flip over to FXXX, where they'll be having Simpsons pornography.
And there's also going to be a music mashup between the Simpsons theme and the APM Music's Heavy Action, the iconic sound of Monday Night Football. Oh, sorry. Why are they mashing up the Monday Night Football theme for Sunday Football?
I don't even know what the Monday Night Football theme is. I can't think of it.
Are you ready for some football?
No, that's the Sunday.
Is that Sunday? Or that was Monday?
Yeah. I don't watch that much football. Maybe I'll watch this because I'm not like enamored with the Simpsons. I'm not enamored with the Cowboys. I will say no team is more boring to watch than the Dallas Cowboys. So maybe this is a welcome change. They're America's team after all.
I was wondering why they picked the Cowboys.
They're garbage. I saw something. It was like Jake Paul had more wins in the Dallas Cowboys stadium than the Dallas Cowboys did this season.
That's pretty good. Boom. Roasted.
Yes. What do you think?
So, which one would I rather watch? I think I'll go and watch the pilot Simpsons Roasting on Open Fire.
I would too. I'm curious just to see like how the idea executes, like the movement of the players and characters. Like, I might watch a YouTube video of it like after the fact just to see.
Well, I feel like Nickelodeon did something like this with the Super Bowl, except it was like SpongeBob themed or something.
Is this tomorrow?
I think so, or it's next.
When I say
Sunday.
tomorrow, I mean yesterday.
Oh, sorry. It is.
And they call it Simpsons Funday football. That's just because it's Sunday. Okay, or Monday. Sorry, Monday.
It is. Yeah. So those of you listening, it happened yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Indeed. Wait.
Yeah.
I thought this was Monday Night Football. Sunday Night Football.
It's a Sunday football episode.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is the Are You Ready for Some Football, but like it's done by, doesn't Carrie Underwood do the Sunday football?
No, you're right. You're right. It's Monday Night Football.
They made it confusing because they both rhyme with Sunday or Monday,
but they spell it F-U-N. Yeah,
it's asinine. Yeah, usually what happens is the newer one looks better, so I just like the newer one naturally. But now in this case, the new one looks worse. So.
That's why I was like, we should do this as boot or reboot.
Oh boy,
yeah.
This might be the jumping of the shark moment finally.
What have you done to my boys?
But also, everyone is like getting really old and starting to retire from The Simpsons. Mm. It's got to end at some point, you know.
Does it?
Probably.
Yeah.
This is probably the beginning of the end. Let's put it that way.
I feel like the beginning of the end was 5 seasons ago when they said, we don't know if we're going to go for more than one or two more seasons.
Yeah.
And here they are.
Yeah.
Mrs. Krabappel's voice actress died.
Well, and then there was also kind of like the political correctness movement that happened a few years back. And it's like,
they replaced.
While I understand that, like I also don't understand it. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of like, I can see it from both sides. There's very fine people on both sides, as you know. But no, it sounds like garbage. Anyway, and now, if there were a Namely 90s Minute, we'd go to Brandon for it. But since there isn't, now back to the show.
Enjoy this mid-roll ad.
And now back to the show.
All right. I'm going to let you pick. There's a toughest Simpsons trivia quiz, which I'm pretty sure we haven't done before, or a can you name the season of The Simpsons by one screenshot quiz.
I think this trivia is going to be more interesting. It's less visual, maybe. And also I would fail to do it badly.
Good point. So this is BuzzFeed's If You Can Get 10 out of 15 on the Simpsons quiz, congratulations, you know more than 90% of the world. This is by Pepe H. of BuzzFeed staff, Mexico.
BuzzFeed is the Stoners website.
Oh, yes. I assume we're doing this together.
Yeah.
All right. First question. Who invented the Flamin' Moe? Do you remember the Flaming Moe?
No, but I like that's funny on a couple of levels. Let's see.
Oh, the options are Moe, duh, Homer, Barney, or Carl. So the episode was Moe's bar wasn't doing well because it never does well, and Homer invented a drink at home that was made of mostly cough syrup, and then you lit it on fire.
Oh, so you know the answer.
Yes, it was Homer.
I was going to guess that.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and then Moe steals the recipe and turns it into like a fancy bar because everyone loves the drink. And then Homer comes in and is like, and tells the secret that it just has cough syrup in it and ruins the time. So
okay, so next one: who is the real Seymour Skinner? Is it the principal?
Is it
the other guy?
Is it
another guy or a fourth guy?
So the first option is the character, the principal, Seymour Skinner. The second option is the Do you have a guess, Andrew? Do you know any of this? This is the actual. This is Seymour Skinner. The principal that we know stole his identity when he was in Korea or Vietnam or whatever. And that third photo is him as the young lieutenant or whatever he was. And he thought this guy died, and the guy told him to look after his mother. And then the Seymour's mom was like, "You're Seymour."
So is it the guy in the sweater or the weird?
Oh, the fourth option, I would assume, is named Seymour Skinner in real life. I don't know.
Probably.
But yeah, it's the guy in the sweater.
Okay. Guy in the sweater. I think Brandon knows more of this, but
yes, so the real
Armin Tamzarian.
Armin Tamzarian.
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
Who was the president of the United States before Lisa took office?
I want to say it was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Nice. The options are Schwarzenegger, Montgomery Burns, Donald Trump, or Fat Tony.
I forgot to do the podcast thing. I was just guessing, but I think it's Arnold.
Andrew, I believe you're correct. Oh, it was Donald Trump.
Oh, that's right. Isn't that why it's?
They know the future.
Yeah. Okay, we got that wrong. That's okay. Good thing it's just a fictional TV show, right?
All right.
What are these two named? It's pictures of Bart and Lisa.
I'm pretty sure.
But then it asks, could it be Bort and Clarissa, Lester and Eliza, or Blart and Nissa? Did they change them for an episode?
So
they look kind of weird.
These look like the old school versions of them, but I want to say there was a joke episode or a joke prank where they had either fake versions of them that with weird names.
They lack eyelids or something too, I feel like, or something's weird about them.
Yeah.
No, Bart doesn't have eyelids.
Let's just go Bart and Lisa.
No, Lester and Eliza. They're weird.
Oh, okay. So they tried to save Itchy and Scratchy Studios, but they didn't. And then these ones were the ones that actually did.
All right.
All right. What cartoon is depicted here? And it looks like the knockoff of Itchy and Scratchy. Must be. So the options are Tommy and Daly, Worker and Parasite, Itchy and Scratchy, or something Cyrillic. And I think it's Worker and Parasite.
Let's go with that.
There we go. Which is every Soviet child's favorite program.
Wow. What class does Mo teach? He looks like he's shooting a potato gun.
I think that's a shotgun.
Or a shotgun in the classroom. How to have a successful wedding. How to get rid of drunks. Mixology 101 or funk dancing for self-defense.
Oh, that's funny because it's a shotgun. So Mo, just about everyone apparently teaches classes at the community college for
which is true.
Night school. I think it's Mixology 101.
It would make sense.
Do you have guesses?
Wrong. Funk dancing for self-defense. That joke had a good beat. I thought that was probably going to be right, but I have to defer to you because you've seen it more recently.
Some gangsters is dissing your fly girl. You just give them one of these, and then that's my bad. Should have noticed
the funk dancing for self-defense was laugh out loud funny, so I should have known that was the right one.
Fair. What's the name of Lisa's substitute teacher? Mr. Bergstrom, Mr. Krabappel, Mr. Hoover, or Mr. Crowley? He's the one with the guitar and Lisa gets a crush on him.
Mr. Hoover feels right.
Well, so Mrs. Hoover is her usual teacher. Mrs. Krabappel is Bart's
you're right. Those are the
usual teacher. Bergstrom sounds familiar. Crowley, but
I'm gonna go Bergstrom.
Okay.
Correct.
Good call. I'm Mr. Bergstrom. Feel free to make fun of my name if you want. 2 suggestions are Mr. Nerdstrom and Mr. Boogerstrom.
This next one, it says, where do all the schmucks work? And it's a picture of Krusty the Clown talking to Bart Simpson with a silhouette or a picture of someone in a window. Questions are, the answers are in Shelbyville, at the glue factory, at the box factory, or on Krusty's program.
I don't know the answer to this.
I mean, it looks like a factory that they're standing in front of.
Glue box factory.
Sure. That's correct. Woohoo.
Nice. Oh, and then the guy is like, in the photos, like, I heard that. What comic book are these 3 fighting over? It's a picture of Bart, Milhouse, and
Nelson.
No. That's
Ralph.
No. It's Martin.
Nelson's the bully.
Biclops? Nelson's the bully. Martin, or the other one you said is
Chief Wiggum's son, yeah.
Son. It tastes like burning. Biclops, The Everyman, The Death of Radioactive Man #1, or Radioactive Man.
I thought it was just Radioactive Man in this episode.
Is it? Well, so is it The Death of Radioactive Man or the Radioactive Man #1? I don't
thought
remember.
It was the original, but I cannot remember.
Because they didn't want. All I remember is they didn't want to read it because it was worth too much.
I don't remember.
All right, let's go Radioactive Man #1.
Yes.
Nice. $100 for a comic book. Who drew it? Michelangelo.
Okay, who is this? It's a picture of a Latino man talking to Mr. Burns in a red baseball cap. And seems to have like a beard, maybe. Signor Scorsese, Signor Spielbergo, Signor Kubricko, or Signor Polansko. Well, 3 of those are directors. Are all of them directors?
They're all Martin Scorsese,
right? Spielberg, Kubrick, and then I didn't.
Stanley Kubrick. Roman Polanski.
Oh, I see what. Yeah, I see what they did there. I don't know.
I think it's Spielberg because of the hat.
Yes, indeed. Good call.
Hat and glasses. Yeah.
Oh.
What's inside the Sun Sphere? A scale diagram of Springfield, a supercomputer, Al Gore dolls, or boxes and boxes of wigs.
I don't know this one.
I don't know this one either. It looks like maybe it's Epcot. Like that's what they're going for. But I want to say boxes and boxes of wigs for some reason. It's
very random and hard to think of as a quiz writer. That's correct.
Yay. The Sun Sphere hasn't been the same since the Knoxville World's Fair ended in 1982.
Why are these politicians holding hands? It looks like a picture of Bob Dole and Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
They're a couple. It's a call for world peace. They lost a bet, or they're merely exchanging long protein strings.
I remember this episode. This is Treehouse of Horror 5 or 6, where those are actually the 2 aliens.
Oh, right.
So I think they are merely. I think they're like, we're merely exchanging long protein strings.
You got it.
Nice. If you can think of a simpler way, I'd like to hear it. Oh no.
What?
Oh, I know exactly who this is.
Well, this is your question.
Oh, I thought it was. Who was the voice behind this character? And it's a picture of a large man with a monkey doll. And is it Michael Fassbender? Is it Michael Jordan? Is it Michael J. Fox? Or is it Michael Jackson?
Isn't it Michael Jackson?
It is Michael Jackson in an uncredited role.
I knew something.
Nice.
How does Homer regrow his hair? With polonium, with brassifrax, with electromicide, or with demoxenil?
Do not know.
Well, minoxidil is the actual drug.
Okay. So, demoxenil?
That's gotta be it.
Nice.
Yeah. I never had to take it, but that's the thing.
What is the chorus of the song These Women Are Singing? And it's a picture of, well, I thought it was Fanta Girls, and we have 3 backwards phrases: join the Navy, join the Army, eat my shorts, vote for
Gore. I don't remember this one.
It was either the Army or the Navy, and I think it's the Navy.
Makes sense 'cause they're in front of the water.
Yeah.
Hey.
So it was that was the subliminal message: join the Navy.
All right. Wow.
12 out of 15 correct.
Congratulations, you, Brandon, know more than 90% of the world. I would have not gotten that good of a score.
Well, you helped with the demoxenil for one. Yes, we are a god among Simpsons fans. I can't live without the button-down life.
Yes.
You want it all. The terrifying lows, the dizzying highs, the creamy middles. Sure, you might offend a few of the blue noses with your cocky stride and musty odors. Oh, you'll never be the darling of the so-called city fathers who cluck their tongues, stroke their beards, and talk about what's to be done with the Simpsons super fan. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I did at one point during the pandemic watch all.
It's might have a little bit too much to drink. Who wrote that?
That point. So final episode on The Simpsons.
Final thoughts. No, I do intend to rewatch it, or at least part of it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
It was good.
I used to like watching it as a kid, but I just haven't kept up.
I haven't enjoyed the newer seasons because they've gotten away from the Simpsons as a focal point. But I guess that's what you do when you have nothing else to do and have already written 30 seasons about these characters. And that's it for this week's edition of Namely 90s. Remember, you can find new episodes out every Monday. Find us on Instagram, Bluesky, and YouTube at Namely 90s with the 90s, and tell us what you want us to talk about on future episodes. If you'd like to support the show, please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/namely90s, also the 90s. Finally, you can contact us through our website, namely90s.com. Please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Audible, Eat My Shorts, Pocket Cast, CastBox, iHeart, Good Pods, and wherever you get your podcasts from. I'm Brandon, that's Andrew, and we'll catch you next time.
I look like Mark Ruffalo in The Lab.